My name is Robin Horner. I am the Solutions Engineer for Docuware, and I have been with the company for 30 years. Today's agenda is going to involve setting a new pace for your organization, the live Docuware demo presentation, and then we'll follow it up with an open question and answer session, which you'll type into the GoToWebinar question box. So let's slow the pace of companies today. Information feels like it should be right there, but it's not. Team resources are constantly stretched. Everybody's freaking out about security, but no one's sure what the plan is. Technology that's supposed to help is flat out painful to use. Docuware fundamentally shifts your business into a new pace of productivity and execution. Move from disorganized, scattered information to one where documents and data are available at the points of decision. Automate redundant, tedious tasks for your team to accomplish more and focus on projects that matter. Security across the board is improved. Compliance mandates like HIPAA and GDPR are addressed with ease. And finally, enough with heavy, complex software. Use technology on your device of choice with an experience built to get stuff done. Today's webinar demo will introduce how you can use Docuware's web forms and digital workflows to streamline your customer service process. So let's dive in. Let me start this up here. So the first thing we're going to do is go over an overview of Docuware interface to give you an idea of some of the functionality that you can do. And then we'll get into two of the very specific customer service workflows, one for order processing and the other one for an customer service call report. So on the right-hand side, or left-hand side of the screen, you see the document tray. This is the Docuware interface that we'll be using. The document tray is similar to the plastic tray on your desk. When you bring files into your tray, you can drag and drop into the tray. Files can also be brought in using a desktop scanner or a multifunction device, or you can simply click on the import and go out and browse for files that you want to bring in. Once you have documents in your tray, you can double click on it and it'll display in the viewer. Over here on the right hand side, we have the viewer where the document is displayed. And down the center, we have various tools for working with your document before you ultimately store it in the file cabinet. We can print it, email it, we can download it if we have the rights to. We can change the display by going into rotating or making it full screen, full page. We can also add annotations. So we can click on the annotation, select the color that we want. Let's use red. Draw a box around it. Now, we can send this document out with the annotation or without the annotation by either printing it or emailing it. We can turn the annotation off, turn it back on, or we can simply remove it once we're done. So, once we're ready, let's say, for example, all of these documents belong to one simple transaction. We can hold our control key down and select them in the order that we want. We can clip them together and then store this document as one transaction. So here is the store button for our different store dialogues. A user can have multiple file cabinets accessible to them. They can also have different dialogues within a file cabinet. The dialog contains the index fields that would be used for storing a document. You can have as many index fields as you require. They can be text, date, numeric, decimal. So you can have a variety of different types of fields, so only specific data would be put into that. Now, Docuware has numerous methods of automating the indexing. But if you have to do it manually, you would simply put your cursor in the field and highlight the information on the document you want to use for indexing. You can also use a select list. So let's do a letter N. For the document number, we would select our project number. For the order number, we'll select the order number. Our date can be any date format. We'll transpose it to your current system date. And then if we wanted to pick up an amount, which happens to be on a different page, we can just go to the second page and highlight the amount there. So that's all the index information we require for this document. Let's go ahead and store it. Now that the document is stored in our filing cabinet, anybody that has the accessibility rights to retrieve it can go back and do a retrieval. Now you can start doing your search by typing in the information, Flying Tom, or you can simply highlight, select it from a drop down. Now, if I just click on this company, click on search, I'll get the document for that company. And here is the document. I can then open it up in my viewer. I can display it. I can go through the different pages of each document, or I can go through each document. So this one happens to be a PDF. If I can go to the next one, this one is a PNG or a image file. And the next one is a simple text file that we've imported. So it's not even a document, it's just a text file. The next one is an Excel file, our Word document, and then the last one would be our Excel file. So it doesn't matter what type of file you store in Docuware. Docuware can view over 250 different types of files. Now, let's go back and do a different type of search. I want to search for all of the document types of letter N. So I'll just type in letter, and I'll select letter N. Now, of course, one of the documents I'm going to get is the one I just stored, but I'm going to get several other documents from different companies. So I can search for all of the letters N, but here is the document that I just stored. Again, I can just double click and open it up. Or I can search for letter N from a specific company, and it will only show me the companies that have a document type stored in the system of letter N. So let's take this one. I want to search for this particular document, and there is the document. There's more than one. I can double click on it and see the document that I want. The rest of the buttons up here are for lists. This would be a static list of documents that have specific index values. This is the task list for our workflow. And then we also have a folder view, which gives us the ability to see documents in a folder structure. So the first field in here is company name. So I would go down and say, okay, I want to see that. Next one is the document type. And then I can click on that and see the document. So it gives you the ability to do a folder search the same way you do in Windows Explorer. We're going to go ahead and start our first workflow, which is going to be our order form for order processing. So when we click on the link, it brings up our Docuware form, which we can then fill out and submit it, and it will go through a workflow. So the first thing we have to do is enter the date. Hit the X key on our keyboard, it puts in the current date. Then we're going to type in the customer purchase order number. We put in a contact. Company name. Their address. City, state, and the zip code. Now, here is a very interesting piece of information. We do not want to clutter this form with additional lines if they're not being used. So we need to enter the number of items to be purchased. If we enter 1, we only see 1 line item. If we enter 5, we see 5 line items. So here we are, we have 5 line items, and I'm just going to resize this a little bit because I'm going to open up another screen. Now, as the customer gives you the part numbers, you have to enter the description and the price. Well, sometimes it's very difficult to remember all this information. So Docuware gives you the ability to click on a hyperlink, which will open up another page. So here is our price list. So we just simply look at it. Okay, so the first item is going to be the 001, and that is that one, and that is $250. So we can look at our list, see what the price is, and we'll go ahead and do the next one, and that is $100. And then we'll do the third one, and that is beta, and that is $75. And then we'll do the last two real quick here. This one is, in, and that is $35. And then this one is the last one, and that is $25. So we have all the information for the customer, all the information that the customer wants to order. We click on Submit. Form is now submitted. We can go ahead and close these down. Now, what's happened, as soon as that form was submitted, the customer has received a confirmation of the order. So automatically, the system sends out a confirmation to the customer showing them what they have ordered. But also, that form has gone to the shipping department to be shipped. So let's switch over to our shipping department. In our shipping department, he has also received an email notification that there's a document to be processed. And he also sees the document in his Docuware workflow if he happens to have Docuware open. But most likely he's working in Outlook or other programs, so he receives an email notification. Let's just give Outlook a second to open up here. Then do a quick, and here is the confirmation or the order that he has to take and process. So he goes ahead and clicks on that. Let's do a quick send and receive again. Goes ahead and clicks on this document, and he'll see the document that he can go ahead and approve. Actually, this isn't the right one. It hasn't actually come through in our email yet. Let's do a quick send and receive. Or he can simply go into Docuware and take a look at the status of any new orders that have come in. He sees a shipping task right here, and he can open up that document, take a look at it, and he says, okay, this has been shipped. It's been shipped today. He confirms. So that task is now done. He is done with that task. Now we will go out to the accounting department. The accounting department is responsible for entering the information into the accounting system and then generating an invoice. So if we go into the Outlook email, here is the email saying book and invoice this customer. So she logs in. She sees the task. Here's the document. It has been shipped on today. So she does the order entry into the accounting system. There's the document. She clicks on print. It brings up a print preview. She prints it to the Docuware printer. And then confirms that the document has been booked and invoiced into the system. So now if we go back over to our customer, we'll see that they have received a copy of that invoice automatically. So let's open up the Outlook. and we'll do a quick send and receive. And here is the customer's invoice. They can open their email. They can see the invoice that was generated. They can see all of the part numbers that they've ordered. And also, if the customer calls with a question and wants to see, has a question about the invoice or needs another copy of the invoice, the accounting department doesn't have to do anything but go into their accounting system, pull up the accounting number, the record, click on customer invoice, and Docuware will automatically execute a search from the accounting system and show them the document. Now here there's more than one. So this is the invoice out. And there is the invoice. And right here from Docuware, from the viewer, they can go ahead and email that to the customer. Send in original format. It will open up Outlook and send that document out, attach that document to an outgoing email as an attachment. And here's the email. All they have to do is address it and go ahead and send it to the customer if the customer needs to see another copy of the email. But also, she has the customer order form to indicate that the order is correct and matches the invoice. And also, the status of the customer order forms is indicated as invoiced. So all this happens automatically. So let's go over and take another look at a different process. This is going to be a customer service rep receiving a call from a customer that has to make a change on an item that was ordered. So we'll log in as our admin. This time they're going to open up a different form. This is the Docuware customer service report form. Here they enter the customer name, today's date. They enter the customer name and they can select it from a drop-down list of all their existing customers. So we have Scott Johnson. They have several options here. Incorrect items received, damaged, missing items, back-ordered items. We're going to select back-ordered items, and they want to substitute. There was an item that was back-ordered, and they only have one item that they want to replace with. So they're going to select the item. This is the description of the item that they ordered, and this is the one that they want to replace it with. And then they click on submit. Now what's going to happen with this form is it's going to go to the accounting department, who has to confirm whether the price is the same or they need to notify the customer of an adjusted price because the part that they wanted to replace was different. So again, they receive an email. They simply open up the email, click on the link, takes them right to the document. They have several choices here. They're going to click on ship replacement items and confirm because the pricing is correct. It's the same. So now if we go over to the shipping department, Mr. Sanders in our shipping department has received an email notification that there's a new document to ship replacement items. He clicks on the link to look at the document to see what the document is, what the information is. He goes ahead and ships it and clicks on confirm that the document has been shipped. So now if we go back over to our customer, and take a look at the email, The customer service rep has actually received an email saying that their replacement items have been shipped, and the customer service rep has also received an item. Here's the one from the customer to the customer saying your items have been shipped. And then if we go up here to the customer service rep, this is the one, and the customer service rep can then take a look at the document and be prepared to answer any questions if the customer should call. And there's the document. So, being that I'm working on a single system, I'm having to switch back and forth to users, but in a real installation, each user would have their own email notification, their own Docuware interface, where they can just simply receive the documents as they are assigned to them. So let's go ahead and finish up our PowerPoint. Here's a testimonial from a growing fencing company that implemented Docuware to provide its remote employees with mobile access to project documents, resulting in seamless collaboration between departments. This is by Matt Paulwell, VP of Business Development at Century Fence. Docuware allows us to keep superintendents in the field where they are most valuable, rather than in the office doing paperwork. Time in the field enables them to oversee the work and keep projects on time and on budget. We are serving our customers and ourselves so much better. The transparency and easy-to-use workflow encourages everyone's participation and commitment to bringing projects to completion. With Docuware Cloud, you'll enjoy the best of Docuware everywhere you go. A complete feature set with high usability and high utility that is built on the trusted Azure background.